What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and I'm incredibly excited to talk about Riddler Who's Riddle here. And yes, we've talked about this riddle before, but now the riddle has been cracked. We have figured out what the numbers mean, and I'm so incredibly excited to talk about this. And of course, guys, if you guys like videos like this, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me recently. So we talked about this riddle before in the past, and to reread it here, these two teasers are two new regional forms, and that's all for this month. And then he's just saying he's going to give out new information based on whatever trailer comes out later in May by the Pokemon company, if it happens or not, right? So we talked about the Matador here in the bowl, and definitely check out that full video about me talking about, I think this is going to be a Snubbull, and also I made another video about it could be a Tauros, Miltank, or Bouffalont. But we're here about the numbers, because the numbers were way more confusing, and I was not sure how to actually decipher the numbers. But luckily, I believe someone on the Bulbapedia forum board actually figured this out. So if you don't know what the numbers are, it's this image right over here, and there's these big 2, 3, 4, and 5 with question marks. But what's the important part of this riddle is the small digits. So over here, we got the 3, 0, 9, A, and E2. That's going to be one section. And our second section is going to be an A5, 7, 3, and 3C. So this really means nothing to the average person. However, this is actually a code, a cipher we have to figure out. And if you put this into HTML for a color source, so essentially what this person does here is he takes 30, 9A, and E2, and he puts them, hashtag 309A and E2, puts them in a little HTML code. You can see the conversion here, and we get the color blue. That is the same color blue that you would use for a water type symbol in Pokemon. Then he does the same thing over here for A5, 7, 3, and 3C, puts him to HTML right here. Then you get the hex color, and now the hex color is brown, like a ground type would be. So this is water in ground, right? Well, what does this mean for the capital letters, or the capital numbers here? So we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well, only generations 2, 3, 4, and 5 have water ground types. And if you're not familiar with the water ground types here, we have the water grounds. It's Quagsire, Wishcast, Gastrodon, both different forms of Gastro, Seismitoad, and Swampert. So these are technically just 5 different Pokemon, but if you include the form, 6 different final form water ground types that we can be talking about in this situation. So pretty much this is hinting at one of these Pokemon is going to have a brand new regional form in Scarlet and Violet, which is incredibly exciting, and this honestly makes a lot of sense to me. So looking at this, pretty much I'm going to say we are not going to be getting Swampert. One, it's a starter. Starters would not get a regional form. That has not happened yet. He already has a Mega 2, so I'm just going to straight up remove Swampert from the equation here. We just don't need that. I just don't think it's going to happen. So now we're looking at Quagsire, Wishcast, Gastrodon, and Seismitoad. And what? It's still representing all the gens. Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, and Gen 5, as noted in the image here. So there are a couple different hints going off of some real-world lore that we can actually make arguments for in this case. So Exhibit A is right here. On the mighty river Ebro in Spain, the catfish capital of Europe, fish to over 200 pounds are regularly hooked and landed by anglers, and fish averaging 80 pounds are commonplace. And you can see a massive, disgusting picture of a catfish. If you don't know catfish, massive creatures. They're very popular to eat. And in Europe, this river is the catfish capital. And luckily for us, a Pokemon that is a catfish is Wishcash. And Wishcash is an excellent Pokemon to have a regional variant of, because this Pokemon sort of sucks. I like the design. Not good competitive. It's just not a good Pokemon in general. So this Pokemon could get a new form, and maybe even with a new form, we can get a new evolution. And that would be phenomenal, honestly. Of course, with a new form, we could be getting a new type. So maybe it's not water ground anymore, or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to find out and see. Water ground is one of the best Pokemon types of all time, straight up. Like, you're 4 times weak to grass, but you're pretty much a god against anything else. So hard to make this any better. To really make Wishcast a better Pokemon, or any of these Pokemon better, you're really just gonna have to boost their stats, give them better move pools for like essentially. But, you know, even then, Quagsire is already a phenomenal Pokemon, even using the Uber's play tier right now. #1 Kyogre counter, actually, funny enough. And Gastrodon is usually seen in OU as well. And you still see Seismitoad out there too. So Wishcash really is the worst of this bunch here, which I think is actually pretty funny overall. But that is not all. We got a couple more little things here. So I want to say that Quagsire is based off an axolotl. If you don't know what an axolotl is, axolotls are from Mexico, which is essentially what Wooper is. Wooper in the Quagsire line is essentially just a Pokemon version of axolotl. And Spain did colonize Mexico. So they could go down that direction and not do something directly from Spain, but maybe something from a place that they colonize. I don't know if they would do that per se. I still like the Wishcash version better, but who knows? Honestly, they can really do anything they want with this. And I mean, that would be sort of insane to have a regional form of Quagsire. And if that got an evolution, imagine Quagsire with an Eviolite. That's going to be completely insanity. So who knows? I sort of don't think they're going to go down that line, just because I really do think Quagsire is such a good Pokemon already. And then for Gastrodon, Gastrodon's name of origin, as you can read here, Gastrodon may be a combination of Gastropod or Gastropteran, which is a genus of sea slug, which it is a slug, obviously, and Don, Spanish for Lord. So it's like a Lord slug, essentially. And then the Japanese name is Tritodon, which still has the Don suffix here, which is still Spanish for Lord. So I'm actually more leaning heavily towards either Gastrodon or Wishcash. I sort of want to really rule out Quagsire. I mean, even this is a little bit of a stretch for Gastrodon, but, you know, it is in the name. But, you know, I really like a real world example, as we can see with the Wishcash here, having, like, you know, the fact that it's such a Spanish based location is pretty big for me overall. So I'm going to lean with regional Wishcash from this, and I think that's going to be pretty fantastic. I mean, the Pokemon has Dragon Dance, so, like, you can, if this thing has Dragon Dance and you boost its stats, this thing will be an absolute monster. Of course, you know, to talk about Riddler Coup in general, I just want to bring up, he is a very legitimate leaker. He said he doesn't watch the anime. These are all the 8 Pokemon Masters and Journeys. So essentially, there's a tournament arc coming up, and he says these are all the trainers in the tournament arc. Well, today, in the anime, this was confirmed. So I just want to say Riddler Coup is pretty legit, because his source is not from Game Freak. Clearly, if his source was from Game Freak, he would not be getting anime news, right? He's getting his news source from a leaker within the Pokemon company. So I do trust him. If he's getting anime and video game stuff, it can only mean the Pokemon company. So I trust Coup. It's going to be interesting to see what information he knows. Clearly, he doesn't know the marketing side for the most part, because if he knew the marketing side, he would have known if a trailer is coming out in May, because someone on the marketing team would know exactly the dates they're going to release, you know, the next trailer and stuff like that. But he has an inside source at the Pokemon company, so this is going to be very interesting to see. Guys, let me know in the comment section below what Pokemon you think is going to get the regional form from the water and ground types, or at least what Pokemon you want to get the regional form. I'm still Team Wishcash. I think this Pokemon definitely needs it the most, and honestly looks like the highest likelihood from the catfish capital of the world. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a great one.